Do you suffer from a deep ache or get burning pain in these muscles at the base of your neck that gets progressively worse as the day goes on? Have your upper traps got so much tension in them that they feel more like rocks than human tissue, and getting a neck rub is a form of torture for you? Well, if so, you're gonna love the two-part strategy that I'm about to show you that can help you to get rid of those things once and for all. Part one of this strategy is a direct stretch for the upper trapezius muscle here at the base of the neck. Now, the purpose of this stretch isn't so much to elongate the muscle as it is to turn down the neurological tone in that tissue, which is gonna set us up to reap even more benefits when we get to part two. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind when performing this stretch is that in order to get the benefits from this movement, you need to make sure that you are effectively pinning down one end of that muscle. Now, in order to do that, what you're gonna do, say I wanna target this right trapezius muscle here. I'm gonna take my right arm and reach it behind me, just like this, almost like I'm touching my rear end on the opposite side of my body. And then I'm gonna bring my left arm down, grab my wrist, and pull all the slack out of that shoulder. So you can see that shoulder just drop down like that. So once that right shoulder is anchored, one end of the trapezius is now locked down, and I can reach my head in the opposite direction, and I'm gonna feel a lot of tension build up right in the belly of that muscle. Now, the other thing that you have at your disposal when performing this stretch is to lean the head slightly forward and see if that increases the stretch that you feel, or you can even lean the head very slightly backward and see if that increases the stretch that you feel. So when I go backward, I start to involve some of the scalene muscles here at the deep portion of the front of the neck, and that really gives me the best stretch. So that's how I perform my upper trapezius stretch. You're gonna hold that stretch for 45 to 60 seconds, then switch over to the opposite side and repeat. Now I want to share with you a dirty little secret about chronic tension in the muscles here at the base of the neck. And that is that for most people, stretching alone will never fully get rid of this problem. And the reason for this is simple, especially when you look at the literature. Take this study, for example, that found that a forward head position is directly linked with thickening, overdevelopment, and chronic tension in the trapezius muscles. In fact, these researchers even came up with a name for it. They called it cervical kyphosis upper trapezius sign. That's right. It turns out the body is putting the tension in those muscles for a very specific reason, and that reason is to support the head in a forward head position. You see, as the head pushes further and further away from its normal neutral position, where it's in line with the pull of gravity, and it starts shifting forward, it actually becomes heavier, in the same way that a dumbbell becomes heavier the further it moves away from my body, right? My bicep has to work a lot harder in this position than it does in this position to hold the dumbbell. Same thing with the head. So if the head stays out here, it means that your traps have to work harder to hold your head in that position. And so the only way to ever permanently get rid of the tension here in those muscles at the base of the neck is to restore normal head position. That's what we're gonna go over in technique number 2. Part 2 of this strategy is an isometric exercise designed to activate and build up the muscles responsible for maintaining normal head position. The exercise that we're gonna be using here is a chin tuck with a twist. Chin tuck is a fantastic movement. It targets two main muscle groups, the cervical extensors that are responsible for pulling your head backward, and the deep neck flexors underneath here. Those muscles are responsible for pulling your chin downward. Targets both of those muscle groups at the exact same time, and it requires zero equipment. Now, to perform the chin tuck, what you're going to do is stand straight and tall. You're then going to try to pull the back of your head to the wall behind you, while at the same time drawing your chin inward as hard as you comfortably can, almost trying to touch your chin to your Adam's apple. So you're going to draw in and back, just like that. Get those muscles as short and as tight as you can. Now, the twist portion of this exercise is what you do with your hands. So you're going to take your fingertips and you're going to place them at the base of your spine, right where they meet the trapezius muscles. And you're going to place the tips of your fingers right on what are called the spinous processes. So those are the bony bumps that you can feel pressing out through the center portion of your spine. You can see this one here probably poking out pretty easily. So you're going to put your fingertips there at the base of your spine. You're going to angle your forearms about 15 degrees down angle, and you're gonna pull in that direction while performing the chin tuck. So my arms are pulling here with my fingertips locked in on the base of my neck. I'm creating counter pressure, so I'm actually pulling the curve into my neck, the normal curve into the neck, while performing that intense chin tuck. Now you're gonna hold that muscular activation for 10 to 20 seconds consistently. You'll then take a 10 to 20 second break and repeat 2 more times for 3 total rounds of muscular effort. When you put these 2 practices in place, I think that you'll find that targeted strength training is a powerful addition to any stretching routine, and it's one that can make all the difference in the world when it comes to overcoming chronic conditions like upper trap pain. And if you want to see another technique that I found to be super effective for building the strength that's needed to permanently eliminate tight upper traps, click the link in the upper right-hand corner of your screen now for a video that talks all about it. Beyond that, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button before you head out of here, and I'll see you next time.